We view the natural world as a collection of independent biological entities, an ecosystem where individual will governs every flight, hunt, and song. But advanced tracking reveals this individual will is a complete illusion. Beneath the feathers lies an unmapped layer of malicious code. Microscopic parasites capable of deploying a total behavioral override. They don't just attack the physical body of the host. They migrate directly to the neural architecture of the brainstem. Once the code injects, the target's survival programming is deleted. An infected host completely loses its instinctual fear of apex predators. It actively seeks out high-visibility danger zones, demanding to be hunted. Because the parasite requires the host's death to complete its own life cycle loop. But this microscopic hijack is just the baseline injection vector. To scale this behavioral code override, we must study the avian mafia, a species that entirely bypasses the physical energy expenditure of nesting. Instead, the operator intercepts and maps a target's local layout. It waits for the host to temporarily leave the security perimeter. The Cuckoo then drops in to execute a seamless data infiltration. It consumes one original asset and deploys a biological clone egg. The forgery is mathematically engineered to bypass the host's recognition algorithms. When the parents return, the malicious code is completely undetected. The Trojan horse protocol is now successfully embedded in the system. The parasite egg hatches hours before the host's actual lineage. Instantly, a blind survival subroutine activates within the newborn operator. It begins to systematically purge the nest of all legitimate data. With the original lineage successfully deleted, the operator faces a logistical crisis. A single parasite requires more daily caloric intake than an entire normal brood. To force the host parents to harvest resources at this extreme scale, the chick activates a highly specialized acoustic frequency override. It broadcasts a fake distress code that duplicates the audio profile of 8 starving chicks. This rapid, multi-frequency transmission completely overloads the parent's auditory cortex. The host's maternal instinct is hacked, forcing a state of permanent panic. It is a relentless digital loop. Feed the system, or the frequency won't stop. Driven by the auditory simulation, the parents harvest food until physical collapse, completely blind to the reality that they are feeding their own executioner. But this localized host subversion is primitive compared to macro-scale network behavior, where thousands of autonomous operators unite to form a single, liquid defensive grid. To witness the ultimate execution of network synchronization, we look away from the nest, where massive populations of starlings begin to gather in the freezing evening air. Human observers view the resulting murmuration as a beautiful, organic dance. But tactical modeling reveals a highly complex computational anti-predator defense loop. The entire swarm operates strictly under a topological distance protocol. No individual leader commands the movement. Every operator tracks exactly 7 neighbors. When an apex predator strikes, the reaction is instantaneous. A single localized movement triggers a cascading data ripple through the network. Information travels across the entire swarm body at speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour. To the Falcon, the cloud functions as a single, liquid, impenetrable defensive entity, an algorithmic shield calculating escape geometry in real time, proving that collective intelligence can completely erase the vulnerability of the individual. This collective algorithmic safety shield leaves no room for system error. But on an individual scale, nature's coding relies entirely on predictable templates. Hosts do not look at their offspring and see their own genetic lineage. They match sensory input against a set of hard-coded behavioral keys. A single oversized mouth triggers an unstoppable biological directive to feed. The parasite capitalizes on this automated software loop with ruthless efficiency. Even when the parasite grows to 4 times the parent's actual physical mass, the optical illusion is so severe it overrides basic self-preservation mechanisms. The parent is trapped inside a cognitive matrix of its own making, a biological fraud executed with perfect mathematical precision in the deep wild. But this network infiltration isn't just limited to remote, isolated wild zones. The system is scaling, and the urban network is the next targeted sector. The architecture of the modern city was built to exclude the natural world. Yet, concrete and steel have merely provided a more efficient transmission network. In the urban sector, avian operators intercept our synthetic data streams. They match the frequencies of car alarms, digital rings, and sirens, cloning human technological sounds to weaponize the psychological responses of the populace. An artificial siren call deployed to draw human attention or clear a perimeter. We classify these behaviors as simple, curious, mimicking quirks. But advanced tracking shows it is a deliberate system calibration protocol. They are learning the acoustic locks to our civilization's primary software, gathering intelligence from the power lines, watching every input we provide. The boundary between biological deception and synthetic control has officially dissolved. Authorized transmission. The final induction protocol begins now. Every file unsealed today points to a singular, undeniable reality. Nature does not favor the survival of the individual. It favors the code, the algorithm, the hidden network. From the microscopic spore hijacking a host brainstem to thousands of birds surrendering autonomy to form an impenetrable sky grid, and finally to the urban operators mapping our cities on the power lines. The architecture around us is being quietly integrated into a larger matrix. The sounds you hear outside your window tomorrow are no longer harmless. They are transmissions, code injections, system data syncs. The archive is growing. Your clearance must be maintained. Subscribe to authorize immediate entry into the next intelligence file. End of file transmission. System connection closing.